Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's your boy, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams, here with the real take of the week. Now, the WNBA had some controversy this week as the Las Vegas Aces lost a game to the Washington Mystics by forfeit. Now, the reason they lost this game by forfeit is they refused to play after having a very complicated traveling schedule leading up to the game. They had to be traveling for over 24 hours because of cancellations and flight delays and arrived to the arena only a few hours before the game. They did not feel they had enough rest. The WNBA did push the game back an hour to try to accommodate for the lack of rest that the Las Vegas Aces had to suffer through their travel delays, but that was not enough as the Las Vegas Aces decided that they were not ready to play because of the lack of rest and were not able to give a good product on the floor and a chance to win because of the lack of rest. So they decided not to play. They tried to reschedule it, but because the WNBA regular season is coming to an end pretty soon, and of course that arena is probably booked for other things, they were not able to reschedule the game. The WNBA said since we can't reschedule it, the Aces did refuse to play, they have to forfeit the game. Now, I do stand by the Aces' decision not to play in that game because, like Jalen Rose said on Get Up yesterday morning, when you have a lack of rest and fatigue sets in, that's when injuries are more likely to happen. So I understand them not wanting to put themselves in a situation where they're at a bigger risk for injury than normal. So I understand that and understand why they did not want to play. Now, of course, this leads to a bigger conversation about the WNBA as a whole and why they are not able to have the private charter planes like other leagues, of course, the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, for example. Now, the WNBA does not make enough money to have that by themselves. But I think the NBA, who's making money hand over fist, should set the money aside to help the WNBA have the same traveling accommodations that the NBA has. Now, the WNBA, which I don't understand why, doesn't make enough money for this. When you think about it, it's the best players in the world playing against each other at a high level. The only thing that the WNBA doesn't have that the NBA has is highlight dunks. When you really think about it, that's it. Highlight dunks. You want to see people get crossed over? WNBA could get that for you. You want to see post moves, which the NBA is lacking right now because the league is transformed into, a league of wing players. You get that with the Brittany Grinders and Liz Cambridges of the world. You want to see power forwards able to step out, hit threes, also go in the post, dribble. You got that with your Candace Parkers and your Elena Delle Dons. You have everything in this league. And the crazy thing is, women's college basketball has a pretty good following. And the players that you fall in love with in college are better now in the WNBA and playing against better competition. So you fell in love with Candace Parker at the University of Tennessee. She's light years better now than she was in college. Brittany Griner, who dominated at Baylor, is so much better now and so much more of a complete player now than she was at Baylor. Same with Diana Taurasi at UConn and Sue Bird as well. Those players are way better now and playing against better competition. And in the WNBA, you also have parity. Now, you could say we have seen the Sparks versus the Lynx in the finals the last 2 years, which have been great NBA finals, unlike the NBA. But you have that rivalry, which is probably the best rivalry in all American sports right now, with the Lynx and the Sparks. But you also have maybe 5 other teams who can legitly win the title this year. The Seattle Storm, who have the best record in the league right now, Washington Mystics, Phoenix Mercury, Dallas Stars, along with those 2 other teams, have legit shots to win the title this year. In the NBA, you have 30 teams, and maybe 3, 4 max have a legit shot to win the title out of 30. WNBA, you have 12 with 6, 7 teams with a legit chance to win. So maybe you can help me out in the comments below. Tell me why you think the WNBA doesn't get the support it deserves and why people don't support it like they do other leagues. And people just have to stop being ignorant as well, okay? Like, I have people that I personally know who I can beat in basketball, and I only played in high school, who believe they can compete with WNBA players. You can't. Stop it. These players are absolute beasts, all right? And if the only thing that you could think of for why you can't watch the WNBA or why you don't enjoy it is that you don't see windmill dunks or people getting dunked on, that's just not enough. Because the game is so much more than the dunk. So much more than that. You want to see somebody pulling up from 5 feet behind the three-point line like Steph Curry. You have that with like a Christy Tolliver from the Mystics. You want to see players who can cross you up and pull up in your face. You have that with someone like a Simone Augustus. So the WNBA is full of talent, and because you only have 12 teams, that talent is evenly dispersed. You don't have players, pulling the Kevin Durant move and being one of the best in the league and going join the best team because they're scared to compete against them. So, of course, the NBA is a better product because of the athleticism, but the WNBA is wonderful to watch, man. I'm not just saying that because I cover the league. I'm saying that because I enjoy basketball, period. So somebody has to enlighten me on why these women are making, such a minimal amount of money compared to other professional athletes. They should be making more, and we should support them. And so hopefully I'm starting with this video of getting more support for the WNBA, doing my small part with my little following. But please let me know in the comments below what you think. Can the WNBA one day make the money to where they can support themselves and get the private planes that they deserve like other professional athletes, and one day be on that upper echelon just like the NBA and other male sports? So please let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe to The Real Deal with Damian Adams on YouTube, Apple Podcasts. The Real Deal with Damian Adams podcast is coming back pretty soon, revamped with a new look and a new sound. Hopefully you like it. Please subscribe now so you'll be the first one to hear it.